Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very long overdue episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. Now, I apologise not having done an episode of Ted's Booze Cellar in some while. I did do obviously one, I think about a couple of weeks ago, back when I was getting over some flu and, cold, hay fever, and also some depressive episodes. I've had some depressive episodes since, however the main reason as to why I didn't do an episode of Ted's Booze Cellar last week was because I had COVID. I'm recovered now, thankfully, and I've tested negative, yeah, I mean that's... Unfortunately I wasn't able to go into work, and I certainly wasn't fit enough to do Ted's Booze Cellar. My voice was absolutely ruined. It's still a bit coarse, as you can hear. My sense of taste and smell is a little bit dulled still, but it's mostly, if not entirely, recovered in certain areas, so that's a plus. But I thought I'd do an episode of Ted's Booze Cellar today because I just heard some very good news about a good friend of mine and a colleague I work with called Hannah. I won't reveal what the news is, I'll keep that private for her and her loved ones, but irregardless of that, to Hannah today, I wish you massive congratulations, and you are thoroughly deserving of everything that's coming your way. Now, I'm going to review a beer that I've taken a look at before, but in a different format, so I'm going to take a look at today at Heineken. I know, sorry Hannah, it's not the most classiest beer in the world, but, you know, either way, congratulations. I've reviewed the draft version of this before, and I believe I gave that a 7.5 out of 10. It was generally pretty good. The enjoyment of Heineken is based around, I think, the way you chill it in draft and the glass that you serve it in, more than anything. The bottled version is alright. The canned version is... I'd say probably similar to a lot of mainstream lagers and beers, possibly the weakest version. So I'll try and give this as fair and objective of a view as possible, but keep in mind that, as with most beers, the canned version is usually the weakest. Not with Red Stripe though. With Red Stripe I find that it's completely the opposite, where the canned version of that is the strongest and the weakest is actually the draft version. I just don't like draft version Red Stripe. But anyway, first off, I'll say the can is very generic, but it looks nice. I like the contrast of the red star against the green background, and yeah, it's very... You know what? I'm not sure what style I would give this. It's a very corporate-looking beer, but it's a handsome-looking one regardless. I like the design of the can very much. I'll give that a good 6 out of 10. It's not the most striking, but it looks good enough. We'll give ourselves a quick sniff of it, though, to see what our first impression's like. So, let's see. Sort of very simple, average, sort of lagery, wheaty sort of smell, with a slight sort of honeyish undersmell. Which is quite nice, actually. Kind of caps everything off quite nicely, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not the most mind-blowing scent in the world, but what's there is nice to view and smell indeed. So, we'll have a quick palate cleanser of water before we see what it tastes like. And then on to the most important part of today's video, the tasting. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a good Jubilee weekend ahead, and bottoms up. So I feel like it's got this kind of almost sweet, slightly honeyish undertone. There's this sort of slight hazy wheat kind of flavour going throughout, but then it's got that lovely sort of general European continental crisp lager taste that kind of capped off at the end with a very crisp finish. The majority of the texture is quite sort of smooth and wet, with that sparkliness from the carbonisation, but it's generally what I'd expect of a continental European crisp lager. I mean, in terms of those standard sort of European continental light lager beers, I'd say my favourite tends to generally be something like either Peroni, Cellar or Mythos. But if you asked me to put a top 5 of that particular type of beer in there, Heineken probably would be in there, I'd say. I used to really, really like Amstel, and Amstel is really nice, but I feel like Heineken probably just has that slight edge over it in terms of like the dynamic of its flavour and how all-round it is. So I probably won't rate this as highly as the draft version. I'd say the draft version is still a solid, probably like 7.5 out of 10. I'll say this is like a 7. It's just a little bit below. Definitely pour it into a glass if you're having the canned version. But for what it is, for just a standard crisp continental canned lager, it's one of the better ones, and it is genuinely very enjoyable for hot weather like this. So yeah, give it a shot. You know, probably won't blow your mind, but you'll probably definitely enjoy it, certainly. So yeah, to anyone who viewed this video at home, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below as well. And to Hannah as well, congratulations and well done. And until next time, have fun, stay safe with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, take a mask with you to the shops, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now.